Your mental illness is all in your head. You're all making it up. Have you heard that before? Have people said that to you before? To invalidate your experiences and make you seem like you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're experiencing yourself when they don't understand. Hello everyone. My name is Autumn Asphodel, and I'm a coach to help you live your best life and find your true self. And that's what we're talking about in today's video. Other people saying it's all in your head, and what you can do to remedy this situation, and how to be able to improve your life, improve the quality of your life. So enjoy the video. Have you ever heard the phrase, "it's all in your head," when someone else describes your mental health challenges, almost indicating that they are not real and valid because everything you're thinking is all in your head? Maybe this has happened to you and you feel bad since the person you're telling, such as a friend or family member, is not understanding your struggles because they cannot see them. Mental illness is often a hidden disorder, as it's not something that is physically visible. Unlike physical disabilities where one can see the person is physically incapable of doing something, a mental disorder is invisible and cannot be seen. The symptoms can sometimes be seen, but some people are very good at hiding it. So, when you hear someone tell you that what you're dealing with is all in your head, it can make it harder for you to actually speak up about what you are feeling since you feel like others are not taking you seriously. While in theory, a mental illness is in the head, as it's a brain disorder that is often caused by past trauma. While science has tried to prove a physical reason for a mental illness, such as the chemical imbalance theory, it has yet to find physical evidence for mental illness. However, mental illness and trauma does change how your brain functions, which can be detected in the brain by how underactive or overactive parts of the brain are. Mental illness is never caused by a lack of chemicals or a chemical imbalance, but rather due to past trauma and hereditary factors that make one more susceptible to developing mental illness. So the question still remains, is it all in your head? And if so, what can be done about it? Well, the truth is that it's not all in your head, but you can change it with your head. Mental illness forms due to an association between past trauma or events and something negative. During childhood, when the mind is highly suggestible and programmable, we develop patterns. When a child is abused, they develop different ways of dealing with the abuse. Not everyone who has a mental illness has a history of abuse, but rather another event could trigger the mental illness, and they may be more susceptible due to genetic factors. When people say that it's all in your head, it makes you feel as though you are invalidated, that your experiences don't mean anything, that you're questioning your very experiences, thinking, are they real? Am I making them all up? It can't be. It seems so real. The thing when it comes to mental illness is that technically it is in your head when you really think about it. It is a mental condition. It's a mental disorder that affects the mind. But just because it may not manifest physically, like physical symptoms that people can physically see, doesn't mean that it's not real. Because what you experience is real. And it's a valid expression of how your mind is and how it reacted to past trauma and abuse and abandonment and whatever else is going on. Some people may have said to you, just think positively. This may make you feel worse since you're not able to just think positively. But this actually is a key lesson to be learned here, since that is part of the process of remedying and reversing mental health struggles. You can't just go from chronic depression to thinking positively. That's like crossing a gap where only a small portion of the bridge has been built. Rather, it's about building the bridge, the foundation, to get you to the place of thinking positively. What are some things that can work? There are a plethora of techniques, and you have to find the one that works for you. It has to be taken slowly and one step at a time, or else you expect too much too quickly and burn yourself out. Rather, it's about finding specific techniques to help you, little by little. There is no miracle cure, but rather small things here and there that add up to mental well-being. Some techniques can be entertainment, such as listening to music, watching a movie or show, and playing games, exercising, taking a walk, especially in nature, and other helpful distractions to help you take your mind off what bothers you and release the negativity. It's not about blocking out the problem, but rather about finding ways that are beneficial in coping with negativity. Each of these things add up to one part of the bridge, and the more you go with finding what helps you and makes you feel better, the more of the bridge that will be built until you can actually mentally be at the stage of talking about the trauma, changing your mindset, and start to think more towards a positive future instead of a grim one. Mental illness, in theory, is in the mind, as it's a disorder that affects the mind. However, you can also use the mind to heal the problem. The mind and body are naturally good at healing on their own, but we often prevent the natural healing process through resistance and denial. Find some things to let this go and start addressing the root cause, and your problems will be remedied. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. So a mental illness is within the mind. It is within your head, but that doesn't mean it is invalid. Rather, because it is something that is in your mind, you can change it from within your mind. And ultimately, it comes down to changing the way you are thinking and perceiving things. When someone tells you just think positively, that should be your end goal. No matter how hard that is to just think positively, you're not going to be able to do that overnight. You may not be able to do that in a couple weeks or months even, or even years. It's going to take time for you to finally be able to start thinking positively. It takes time for you to go through that process of where you are now, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, feeling really upset with who you are and your life and a variety of other situations, to getting to a point where you feel truly happy with the person that you are. And that takes time. That's not going to happen overnight. So begin changing the way you're perceiving things and the way you're thinking about things, because if you want to change, if you want to heal, you have to make the changes. No one else can make those changes for you. No one else is going to help you through those difficult things if you're not able to help yourself. You have to be the one to stand up and change yourself. So be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel Shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find something amazing. Also become a member of $5 up and above to get early access to new content before anyone else has public access to it. So I want to thank you all so very much for tuning into this video. Let me know what your thoughts on this topic. Let me know how you have been able to heal yourself. I'm really curious to hear it. So you all take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye.